Hey everyone, I'm Chef Antonia Lofaso, the head judge of the Julia Child Challenge. And today we are celebrating the meringue. What I love so much about being a part of this show and what Julia Child taught was the fundamentals and the building blocks of cooking. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. This is actually not a recipe. We are going to feature 3 of the meringues, the French meringue, the Italian meringue, and the Swiss meringue, and how they're actually used as ingredients in baking. So first up, we're going to do the French meringue, used in soufflés, pavlovas, and Julia Child's favorite dessert, the floating island. So of course you can use a whisk and a bowl if you want to do that at home, or if you have a stand mixer, go ahead and attach your whisk attachment. You're going to lock it in there, and we're going to start with just the egg white and a little pinch of the cream of tartar to stabilize the meringue. The egg whites are room temperature, they're easier to break apart, and then the granulated sugar, because it's granulated, it does take a second for it to dissolve, so we add it in just sections. So as the egg white starts to beat and you see a little bit of air, go ahead and add a little bit of sugar. I think we're good. I think we've got a beautiful French meringue there. It's super pliable. Look at that. Now we're gonna get into the cooked meringues. First up is the Swiss meringue. What I've basically done is taken a pot that has about, I would say about a 1/4 inch of water at the bottom, and then a heat-proof bowl on top so you can see the steam coming up. You wanna have your heat on low. We don't want this to boil, we just want a little bit of steam to come up. We're not looking to cook the egg white in any way. We're just looking to get it to 175 degrees, which is a more stable egg white. So I've got my thermometer here. When you're using the thermometer, just be careful not to touch the bottom of the bowl and have that read the actual temperature of the egg white, because obviously that's the hottest part of the bowl. You really just want it into the liquid. All right, 175 degrees. A little bit of that cream of tartar inside. Same thing, we're gonna add the sugar gradually. So now the Swiss meringue doesn't need to be baked. It's already at a totally safe temperature of 175 degrees. We've got the cream of tartar in there as a stabilizer. We're gonna add the sugar gradually like we did on the first one. Gradually so that the granulated sugar can dissolve into that warm egg white. This is gonna be great for something like a lemon meringue pie, where you've already made your pie, you've already made your curd, it's not going to bake, and you can just kind of put that over the top, maybe brulee the top so that there's a beautiful color. And now we have the Swiss meringue, which looks exactly like the French meringue, but it doesn't have to bake because it's already perfectly cooked. Okay, so for our Italian meringue, very similar to the Swiss meringue, another meringue that doesn't need to be cooked. It's great for marshmallows and it's great for mousse. We are going to cook the egg whites, but we're gonna cook it with a softball sugar. And when I say softball sugar, it's basically water and sugar, a granulated sugar, that's dissolving and cooking to the consistency, I like to say, of a warm corn syrup, okay? That's essentially the consistency of the softball stage of sugar, cooking to about 240 degrees. So when you're making a softball sugar, or any kind of cooking of sugar, you're using the water just to dissolve the granulated sugar. And then that water is gonna evaporate, and it's just about cooking the sugar. And we're getting to 240 degrees is the perfect consistency, and we are there. Do not stick your spoon in it and try to taste it. What I like to do is just very, very gently just sort of spin the sugar, and you can see the viscosity as you spin the sugar just like that. And just by me actually gently rolling the sugar in the pan just like that, it's cooling it down just a little bit. But please, please, please do not ever stick a spoon in there and try to taste it. I promise you, nothing good happens, okay? You wanna think about when you're cooking sugar as if you were working with hot fry oil. It's exactly the same, okay? So to be taken with a lot of caution. So now that we have the sugar at 240 degrees just sitting, we can go ahead and start the meringue. So the egg whites at room temperature, just do a little pinch We have a soft peak that's happening now with the meringue. And we can go ahead and start to stream in the sugar. So very, very gently off to the side of the bowl. That softball hot sugar just streams into that egg white. Perfect, stable, beautiful. Thank you for coming to my meringue party. This was a huge celebration of meringues. I feel like Julia would be proud. She loved the fundamentals of cooking, the building blocks of cooking, and the fact today that all we did was just talk about meringues, the French, the Swiss, and the Italian. She would be like, now you have the information, go make some desserts.